Good morning and welcome back to Yoga with Jess and a yoga stretch of the day. So today we're going to be working on a hip opening and a hamstring stretching pose and exercise. So we're going to be working on a pose that's a modified version of the hand to toe pose. But for this position, ideally you need a prop, which is a yoga strap or a strap of sorts. So I myself do actually have a yoga strap here, which is just like a belt with a buckle that you feed it through and have a loop at the end. But if you don't have one of those, at this point you might want to switch off or pause the video while you go find yourself a strap. And I have got a couple of examples of here of what you can find in your wardrobe. So I've got like a belt strap, a waistband strap for jeans, say, that's a material one that you feed through a releasing buckle, and you can just feed it through and then pull it through till you've got a loop at the end where you can place a foot and a piece of length of strap or length of material coming off, which you'll need to get hold of at the end. So I've got that one, or I've even found a belt buckle belt in my collection. So like this, you just feed it through the buckle, pulling it through until you've got a loop at the end, not to where it doesn't lock into place, and then you've got a piece of length of strap coming off which you can use to hold on to. So there's a couple of different options there, and before we start we're going to start by warming up the hips and the back of the legs. So starting with the warm up, we're going to come onto our backs. On an inhale, we're going to extend the arms overhead and take a nice big long stretch all the way down the body, fingertips to toes. Then on an exhale, we're going to bring that right knee into the chest. Hug the knee close, wrapping arms and hands around your knee. As you pull it close, draw the thigh towards your stomach and knee towards the right shoulder. So squeezing it close, really opening up the hip. And then on an inhale, extend the right leg back down to the floor and take the arms back overhead. On your next exhale, bring that left knee into the chest and bring the arms down, wrapping them around the knee, and draw that knee towards the left shoulder and the thigh towards your stomach, so squeezing it close to you, really feeling the opening in the hips. Then on an inhale, take that left leg to the floor, arms back overhead. Exhaling, bring the right knee back into the chest, squeeze it close, draw it close. Inhale to extend the right leg back down, arms overhead. Exhaling, bring that left knee into the chest. Inhale to extend the left leg back down to the floor, arms overhead. Exhaling, bring the right knee back into the chest. And this time we're going to extend that right leg up to the ceiling and clasp the fingers and place them behind the right thigh. We're going to start to circle the foot at the ankle in one direction, so starting to clockwise direction, rolling the foot at the ankle. And then taking it in the opposite direction. Keeping that leg extended, so keeping that right leg extended up to the ceiling, we're going to take the arms down to the sides, down to the floor. And we're going to draw a circle with the foot, rotating the hip. So starting in a clockwise direction, starting with small circles, so drawing a small circle and then drawing a bigger circle, so coming out into bigger circles, taking it bigger and wider. And then bring the leg back to the top, and we're going to change direction. So starting small again, small circles with the foot, and then drawing it out in bigger circles, taking it wider and bigger. And you come back to the top and place that foot back to the floor. Inhaling to extend the arms overhead. On your next exhale, bring that left knee back into the chest. Extending the left leg up to the ceiling this time, clasping your fingers behind the left thigh. We're going to roll the foot at the ankle in one direction, and then taking it in the opposite direction. Keeping the leg extended, place the hands back to the floor. We're going to draw a circle with the foot in a clockwise direction, rolling at the hip. So starting small and then spiralling out in bigger circles. So taking bigger circles with that leg. Nice big wide circles, waking up the hips. And bring the leg back to the top, changing direction, starting small, taking bigger circles. Whoops. And then place the foot back to the floor. So we're going to bend our knees and place the feet back to the floor. So knees bent, feet to the floor. At this point, this is when we take hold of our strap that we've made or have. Making sure you've got a loop in the strap at the end. So with that little loop, we're going to place that loop onto the right foot. And then holding onto the strap, place that right foot back to the floor with the knee bent. So the knees are both bent, feet to the floor. Holding onto the strap with the right hand, we're going to extend that right leg straight up to the ceiling. So pulling down on the strap and the loop around the foot, we're going to start to walk both hands, if you can, up your strap towards your foot. Trying to keep that right leg as straight as you can. So you can stay here with the left knee bent and foot to the floor. But if you want an even deeper stretch in the hamstrings and the hips, then extend that left leg flat down to the mat. Or if you prefer, just keep your knee bent and foot on the floor if it's too uncomfortable. The next part of this pose is to take the leg out to the side, so still holding onto that strap. You can still keep the left knee bent if you prefer the foot to the floor, otherwise have the leg flat to the floor, and let the right leg just fall out naturally to the side, holding onto your strap, and bring the foot down towards the floor. Ideally, you'll need to work on keeping both hips on towards the floor and the seat bones on the floor as much as you can, rather than tilting over to the side. It's more about opening up the hip and treating that hip like a hinge on a gate, where you're opening up and out to the side. So pushing on the left hip with the other hand, helping to keep that hip towards the floor. And then bring that right leg back into the top. Bend the right leg in and remove the loop from the right foot. Place that right foot back onto the mat with the knee bent, lifting your left leg in this time, and place that loop that you had on the other foot onto the left foot, and then place that left foot back to the mat with both knees bent. This time lift the left leg up to the ceiling. You can either keep the right knee bent with the foot to the floor, or if you want to extend that right leg flat to the floor, so you've got both legs straight, walking up the strap towards the left foot, trying to keep that leg as straight as you can. Options with the right leg, whether with the knees bent, foot to the floor, or legs straight to the mat. And then we're going to let that left leg fall out to the side. and the foot come towards the floor. Remember to keep the right hip towards the mat or floor. Holding on to that strap. So feeling that stretch in the hamstrings and the left leg. And feeling that opening in the hip again. So imagine, as I said before, it's like a hinge on a gate. And then bring the left leg back up to the ceiling. Bend your knee in and remove the strap from your foot. Place the strap back to the floor and then bring both knees into your chest, crossing your ankles. We're going to rock ourselves back up to a seated position, cross-legged pose, easy pose, or Sukhanasana in Sanskrit. Bring the hands back to the heart centre into prayer. I hope you enjoy that and you feel opened up in the hips to start your day. Thank you very much and Namaste.